So let's take a lovely, peaceful walk through the gardens. We need a lot of peace everywhere. Uh, and hopefully, this will bring you a great amount of joy. To see things grow and prosper with very little effort, other than some water and a little bit of natural fertilizer, are beautiful grapes. I look forward to having a wonderful harvest season. And here we have an amaranth that found a crack and decided to grow. Things even grow in the cracks in the world. We have to remember that. Here is a whole group of grapes that I got from cuttings. And sometimes it takes a few years for grapes to bring fruit. I haven't seen any flowers on these particular ones yet, but it's only been 2 years. This is a goji berry bush that's 6 years old. In 6 years, it was a 6-inch plant, and now you see what it is. It'll have to be cut back in the late summer, early fall. But there you see a goji berry dangling from its limbs. Later on in the season, we'll have tons of them. And so the birds take the upper ones, Tovi takes the real lower ones, and I take the ones in between, and we all eat them. So we have rain barrels with little dishes on them for smaller birds. Here we had early season hollyhocks that have started closing already, but more will open up. And you see the yarrow is always very, very vibrant in the summer. The catalpa decided to live, and so we'll have to transplant during the fall. And we have beautiful cone flowers that have transplanted themselves over there versus doing it in another part of the garden. The willow tree is doing great. Here is a gooseberry that is reviving itself. Last year it really had a problem. I don't know what was going on, but this year it had just a few gooseberries, so hopefully next year more. This is the first grape that I've ever grown. It's a 10-year-old grapevine. Will need to be trimmed. But look, we're starting to get grapes already. So sometimes it takes a few years. These are Concord grapes. They'll be really lovely. Over here is an area that I'm planting some very hardy herbs to preserve the land, and there is a wormwood that is doing great. You can see that it is developing little flowers on the tips. It's kind of hard to see because it's very, very elegant plant. Wormwood was used for malaria and was used for cancer and here is Tovi is taking his little walk in the morning. And here is a lovely plant called Yerba Negrita with tiny, tiny little um, orange flowers, and it'll be ready to harvest. This is a stomach remedy, and over here is our little cherry tree. Weeping cherry tree. And here is the honey locust, and it's doing quite well. I expect it to have flowers either this year or next year. Here is the lovely honeysuckle. You can see that it had started to get blossoms. And over here is the jujube. I want to show you some things. You see all those little things on the leaves? Those are flowers. And I'm hoping we'll be able to get some jujubes this year. We'll see. Some trees take 5 or 6 years also to produce fruit. It had one jujube last year, so maybe we'll have a few, or maybe a lot more. There's a new grape plant also that was planted last year. It suffered from the frost, but it looks like it's going to do okay. And there's the vinca that was gorgeous with deep purple flowers. It's starting to spread through the garden, which is good. Here we have ephedra, which is a heart stimulant. And I planted it in the ground 2 years ago, and it's really taking off. And here is the pear tree, the ancient pear tree. This tree was here prior. You can see a pear over there. This tree was prior to my coming here, and unfortunately there was an Arctic frost that happened in 2011, so I had to cut it back, but it's done really well. We'll have a ton of small pears that we'll be able to do things with. This is an area with lots of different kinds of sage. In the back area there, where my shadow is, unfortunately, let's see if I can get out of the shadow. There we go. Is a variegated sage. A common sage that has uncommon amount of blossoms. And right here is a beautiful lamb's ear that has a ton of flowers. And here in between everything else is the mugwort. Excuse me, the mugwort flowers later in the season, more towards the September time. Here are some more lamb's ears that have decided to sprout and have beautiful, beautiful flowers. The bees love them. And over here, we're almost ready to harvest the comfrey. The comfrey still has a few flowers. Once the flowers are done, I'll be taking off the tops and letting the bottoms grow. And what happens is we normally have 2 seasons. And here we have the, it's not clematis, it's another type of, I can never remember the name of this flower. Anyway, it's got a new flower coming out. Where is it? There it is. Beautiful variegated flower. Once it blooms, it'll be amazing. The kinnikinick right here, Uva ursi, is another medicinal plant. It didn't do well last year, but this year it's coming back. And then through here we have a ton of cilantro, coriander, mints, another beautiful different style sage that is more frond-like and has flowers on top of it. It's just gorgeous flowers. And over a little further along the thing here is tarragon, and then some more mints. And also a dog here. And he's picking up scents from the beautiful, beautiful mints. He loves to jump in the mints, and then when he comes home, he smells like a mint julep. The mint julep dog. And here are some chives. And Toby running through the gardens. So I hope this has, oopsie, it's like trip on something. I hope this has created a greater sense of peace for you in these crazy times. Be well.